I love the competitive nature of everybody. I feel like the guys, the pieces we've added, the veterans, the young guys, we're starting to mesh. We're going to continue to kind of grow the culture, grow the togetherness. Obviously, competing with each other all the time. So it was fun to come out here and compete against these guys. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of new looks. We've got a lot of good football players, and it's fun to come out here and compete against them.
What's your impression of this offense?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of familiar things for me, but also, I mean, anytime you get to be in an offense again, it's like growing details, and then obviously growing in it with great, never been in it. Just trying to get the time around different things, how you see things, how I see things. That's part of my
How do you approach these next 5 weeks, Coach? Most important 5 weeks of the offseason?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you try to stay where you're at for sure, and then continue to find little details and little things that you can be better at, that you were able to see that were good, and maybe some things that this time of year in OTAs and mini camp that you're like, all right, maybe I need to fine tune these things, so use this time kind of wisely.
After the time we talked with Josh, you brought up the new stuff that Coach Downey and Coach Brown have brought into the offense. What degree does this feel new to you, even though it's the same system your first year?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a minute since I've been at Josh's scheme, so I'm hearing the verbiage again, hearing some different things, but it's kind of like riding a bike. When you start hearing things, doing things on a bike again, it's like, it comes back to you naturally. But obviously adding a little flavor from different offenses has been refreshing, and excited to kind of build on that.
How would you, without, not personnel or plays, but describe that new flavor? Like, is it stuff you've already seen or played in before? Or
Yeah. I mean, everybody runs similar concepts, man. I mean, it is what it is. It's just how you scheme them up, maybe, and like player, different formations, all that kind of stuff. So everybody kind of runs a similar scheme. It's just kind of how you call it, how you formate it, how you put people in the right position. Yeah, man.
Just a general feel of assignments, knowing where you're supposed to be, where you're supposed to go. At this stage, I'm sure you have a long way to go. So, you use the word coming.
Yeah.
Is it a sense that the guys are figuring it out?
Yeah, I mean, it's good, man. There's a good mix of like some vets and young guys, and so we're trying to blend that in the right way. I mean, it's going to only get closer throughout training camp to those hard days. Remember, there's going to be good days, there's going to be bad days. That's why you got to love coming out here competing and getting better, because they're going to challenge you every day. We're going to challenge them. You got to love the back and forth.
I just want to ask about the defensive front. It looks like they were aggressive today, exploding, trying to time the snaps. Just what was the challenge like?
Yeah, I mean, we worked on a little bit of noise today. Obviously, silent cadence. It's new. We've got a bunch of new guys up front, a bunch of new guys on offense, so we're just trying to time things up. And, only going to continue to get better at that.
Yeah, sure. Drake talked yesterday about pre-snap reads, surveying the field, reads, coming out of the huddle. Just how does it feel coming together in terms of?
Oh, he's doing great, man. He's doing great. It's a lot. There's a lot of demanding things on him at the quarterback position, but he's taking it head on and doing a great job.
Thank you.
All right, man.
Adjustments, he asks the questions, he's working on his technique, and so that's the thing that you want to see versus guys kind of getting down on themselves and kind of like questioning whether they want to be here. At the end of the day, you got to rely on the work that got you here, and I feel like that's what he's doing.
Looks like you're spending more time on the edge than you have in previous seasons. I remember spring or summer last year, you mentioned that was an area of focus for you. You flashed like all these different moves. So now, what's the next step? Would you say in your development as an edge rusher?
Just consistency and just having confidence. Like, I feel like we have really good guys on the inside who can get out to the passer, even on early down situations. So that changes things that I can do a little bit. I can be a little bit less conservative and be more aggressive. And so it changes a lot of things. And then also I have a really good coach telling me, like Coach Smith, telling me steps, alignment, things like that I haven't traditionally heard. So like just that next step of having that coach behind me is just really good for me.
And how helpful are those early periods? Because I see like you, Harold, and all the kind of veteran guys working your moves. How helpful is it to be able to get those in before you actually get on the field?
It's pretty good. Like, so it's helpful for me because it slows it down for me a little bit, and it trains me. Like he's doing a good job of saying, like, this is what you need to think of. This is your thought process, and that's something I don't think I had before, and what I was missing.
So did it feel like you were maybe going on prior experience, or maybe were you just like overthinking, or how exactly?
I'm training myself. And now I feel like I have a coach. So.
What has that been like just working with Vrabel, him mixing it up with you?
Vrabel's cool. He's a hard ass. Like I said, he's one of those guys that's not afraid to get his hands dirty. So he'll come out, put the pads on, let you go through the defensive line drills with him. So if you got a guy at the top ready to get in the trenches with you, then that makes you respect that a little bit more.
How much further ahead do you feel like that's kind of left this group?
You don't know. So we've been in passing camp for the past couple of weeks. You don't know where we are until we put pads on and actually have to play run, play pass, early downs, all of that. You put it all together.
What do you make of where you're at though? Just coming out of minicamp.
I'm building. So every day I'm working to get better, and that's just the route I'm trying to take, just to improve my game every single day.
Do you feel some growth though, just in terms of where you're?
Yeah. So like I said, every day I try to get better. So compounding growth is going to accumulate over time, and that's what I try to just live my life by.
How are you spending these next 5 weeks?
Training. So this is the part of the year where I really take my time, get my diet right, eat better, train harder, work on my technique and things like that. That way I can be the best shape possible going into camp.
What is the mindset for this group going into camp?
Aggressiveness attack. So just dominate the person across from you, I don't care who it is, and really set the tone and establish your dominance and impose your will on the man across from you.
Has that message kind of already taken root right now?
That's my message. So that I feel like I don't really talk a lot, and so you just lead by example. And I don't really like to get into the leader world or role or say that, because we all are grown men at the end of the day. But it's more so just do your work, and other people are going to either rise to that or fall. And that's how I feel.
I know last year's last year, but is there a different tone or a vibe already that you can feel within the team?
Again, you really don't know until it really gets real. And everybody can be good and kumbaya in the first couple of weeks of your career, but we don't know what we have until we get on the field and really play and show everybody else.
What do you think, though, about the personality of young players that you have in your room? For example, the new guys. I mean, just generally, do you like the approach, the attitude?
I don't really like nobody. So no. No, they're cool. Like they're young guys coming in, ready to work. They listen. They are working on their technique. They're improving every single day. They're better today than when they first got here, because it's a hard jump. Like, we all went through it out here. Your rookie season is not easy to grasp all the concepts, the formations, what the offense is doing. You really have to know football like a professional and an expert at your craft. And they're doing a really good job of picking it all up.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon. How y'all doing?
How are you?
Nice to see you.
It's just how's your knee?
Good. It's pretty good. It's obviously been a process. I was 7 months on Saturday, so it's a nice little 7-month reunion. I feel great. I've been out here grinding with the boys, so it's been definitely a process, but I'm sort of back in now. I wanted to mix it up a little bit, just, make the rules.
Speaking of that, tell us about the video. A lot of people are curious just as to how it came about it. Is everything okay with it?
Obviously, I want to be as candid with you guys as possible. I kind of like having people where talk about my personal life with people I don't know personally. I'm pretty sure everybody here, men and women, are great people, but you know what I'm saying, I kind of keep my personal life personal. I had a conversation with Greg, obviously. I want to echo everything that he said. He told me, hoping everybody make a good decision. So, and I had a conversation with people in the building as well. So everything else, in particular, is all internal.
Right, understanding that, kind of coming on us to ask, where's in the bag?
Obviously, it's a conversation, that's happening internal. I can't have too much of a conversation about it. But I've been in this league 10 years. You can format the question many different ways. I'm obviously answering the same way.
Stefon said one to me, did you know it was being recorded?
Once again, you can format the question many different ways. I've been doing this for 10 years. The conversation that I had with Ray, obviously, is going to be handled internally, in-house.
You regret it happened?
So you asked me again. I would hate to repeat myself again.
I just saw you afterwards here. So what did you learn? We all learn things every single day. What did you learn from it?
How do you move forward with it as a New England Patriot?
Obviously, I don't want to be rude, but I would hate to repeat myself for the fourth time. But you need me to repeat myself again, say the same thing again. I mean, I'm trying to be as polite as possible,
But how important is it to be here for you?
100%. I mean, anything football related, I would love to answer the question. But I was happy to be here. I was happy to be back to work. You know, seeing the guys, being around the guys. Football is the main thing. The only thing I care about is winning. So keeping the main thing the main thing.
Stefon, is your plan ready to go by?
Oh, great question. We'll see how it goes. Obviously, I'm grinding each and every day. Obviously, I can't do too much of the team stuff, but I'm eager to get out there. So whenever they do press the button, I'm gonna be ready. I'm grinding those games.
How do you personally feel? How does your life feel when you're out there doing what you're able to do?
I'm confident. I kind of like took my rehab pretty serious. So in the beginning phases, I wasn't as confident, but I was trying it out. But good thing I was away from everybody. But when I came back here, obviously was in the mindset of trying to get after and get going. But you know, it's kind of like a dog on the leash. Like you want to bring them back a little bit, especially me because I want to go. But it's the timing of everything, and I'm looking forward to training camp.
What is Steph? Have you passed your physical?
I haven't had it yet. You had something like it, so maybe I have passed it, but it's kind of up to them. I kind of just playing it by ear.
Some of the money in your deal was tied into passing the physical.
Oh, you shouldn't have. I got the money yet. Yeah. I got to check that.
Have you checked all the check marks you want to check off as far as where you are with it, getting ready, and where you think you might be on opening day?
It's kind of weird because every offseason I've trained, you know, day in and day out. This was no different, so it was just more of a recovery process, and I feel like that kind of played a part of my recovery, just every year, grinding, training. Where I am right now, would I say, I wouldn't really put a percentage on it, but I got some work to do.
Steph, I see you spending, sorry.
Wisdom, I've seen you talking to a lot of the facilities, both young and old. What type of wisdom are you trying to impart? How are you trying to help people in the wide receiver?
We got a lot of young guys. Obviously, last year, injury kind of played a portion in some of those young guys. I think they're hell of a players, like athlete-wise, they can play-wise. They got a lot of potential. So, you know, it's crazy being around them. They ask a lot of questions, and I try to help them as much as I can. As far as like just doing my part, I've been in the league for a while. Like when I say 10 years, it's 10 years of actually just grinding and playing well, and you know, kind of like just trying to do my thing. So I'm trying to like just pass it on. Those guys got a lot of potential, but I think it's more for just staying healthy. You know, the best ability, the availability for them, and I'm screaming that to myself as well because I got a little bit of that.
See you spending a lot of time with the. See you spending a lot of time behind the offense. Watching it today, I saw over here. Question with Josh and Josh. How's it going with immersing yourself in the offense and getting solid on the nuances of it?
Well, it's different. I mean, obviously, the only reason you see me in the back is because I can't participate. I can't play outside with my friends yet. So that's why you see me in the back. Yeah.
Trying to get a man.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get. I'm as engaged as I can be. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't run a route, but I can also take mental reps. I can have those conversations. What I'm thinking about, if I got a question about a route, if I don't know the play, I want to hear it. You know, just hearing it as much as I can. I think it'll be good for me and spend a lot of time here. That's why I look forward to training camp. You know, training camp is when you put the pedal to the metal, but I'm gonna do a lot of homework prior to getting there. So.
What are your impressions of your so far?
I like it. I just I can't say too much because I haven't been out there much. But as far as like personality-wise, he's a dog. You can tell he's a dog from the get-go. I can see he's committed to the process. He wants to play well. I know he's been here all spring, so just to see him out there, as far as like when I get back, he's been real helpful too. Like he know I haven't been here as much. I've been trying to get right. I just been trying to get right mentally and physically, as far as like being in the right space, I want my body to be in the right space. So when it's time to go, I'm right there for him.
Does this offense have any similarities to what you did with Brian Dable?
100%. A lot of similarities. You know, the intricacies of it is definitely a little different. They might call something different or have a different name, but I always say these are the same routes I've been running.
What types of things do you do to try and like get right mentally?
Spend some time by myself. You know, a lot of meditation. I like spend some time away, spend time with my family. You know, I kind of like look at that as like recharging. This past weekend I had a camp. I would have my daughter at my camp, so that was kind of fun. Just family kind of recharging. Sit on myself again and spend a little time with the game.
From a professional standpoint,
yeah,
professional only, what will the next 5 weeks be like for you
What do you need to do? What do you want to do to get ready for day one of training?
It's probably more the mental portion. My body's pretty much in a good space. I'm gonna continue to grind, obviously, but you want to be fresh going into training camp. I want to be in shape, and I want to know the book. So I'm gonna spend a lot of time on the educational part, as far as like hearing it, seeing it, running around consistently, and that kind of stuff. So, I'm gonna do a lot of traveling too, so I'm bring my iPad with me.
How would you describe the experience the last 3 months playing for Mike Vrabel and your relationship with him?
He's like a. I tell you, he was like a player. Like, obviously, he wants to take care of you, but he's committed to the grind, and I can tell he was a part of like championship team. He knows what it looks like. He knows what the DNA looks like. He's a grinder. You know what I'm saying? He's not gonna. He talks a lot of smack. Surprised me, but I'm a huge fan of him. I can't wait to play for him. He got that itch that you can, if you want to run through a wall. Like a misquote, but he's I look forward to it. I feel like me and him kind of go back and forth in practice, and I'm not even anticipating. So.
Jeff, can you cling to the fact that you were a 5th round pick at one point? This franchise has had famous 6th round pick.
The best guys ever.
Edelman, just these guys who had to work and impress in the league. You still carry that edge?
Not too much. I still keep it in the back of my mind, but it was so long ago. Sorry, forgive me, but it was so long ago that I really think about it. Like right now, I kind of be where my feet at right now. I got some young kids with me. They got a lot of potential. I want to play well. I want to heal up, and I want to have a good season. So just trying to take it day by day. I try not to rush, but the past is the past. You know.
Do you like all the young guys?
No, I hate them. No, I'm kidding. They're good guys. And they listen. The biggest thing is they listen. I feel like maybe last year they didn't have a lot of older guys in the room, or veterans in the room. I don't know. But I feel like they respect me. And that's the biggest thing. I want to earn the respect of my teammates first and my coaches. And that's how you lead. So you lead from the front by earning the respect of the players alongside of you. So the fact that they respect me, they see I'm out here grinding. And, I'm supposed to be hurt, but I feel great.
Do you still feel like you can be a number 1 guy and be that guy?
For who?
You.
For myself?
Yeah.
Or for my team?
For your team.
100%.
It was a myself.
Stefon, jersey on, sort of just like the walking forward. Looks like you and him maybe made some contact.
Yeah, he's soft. I mean, what about it?
What do you say to him, or what does he say to you when that sort of occurs?
He says I'm soft. But now we just be talking smack. He really tells me make sure I'm learning to play so I can be in the right spot at the right time. But he's always in coach mode, even if he's. Those jokes always got some truth to him. So.
Who has the best moves in the wide
This the
receiver
final
room?
question, guys.
I'll let y'all go for it. Best moves in the wide receiver room. Sorry.
Yes.
Dance moves?
Oh, yeah.
Probably a little pop. He's a dancing machine. Last one.
Mike, the receivers surprise some people, and by that I mean a lot of people don't think much of this collection of receivers. Do you think you guys have the ability to perhaps surprise some people about how good you are in this offense?
No, I will hope that everybody would think that we're terrible. We fly under the radar. We hide in the bushes. Kind of to the note of just like receivers that was drafted in the late 1st round. You know, they surprise people when they surprise people, but they go in each and every day, work extremely hard. You know, earn everything that you get. You kind of want to line the bushes. You kind of want to go under the radar because, you know, obviously. Your standard should be the highest. You should hold yourself accountable. You should hold yourself to the highest standard. So I don't really get into all that. You know what I'm saying? People not thinking much of me. I'm used to it. I got the big shoulders, but I'll pass it along. I have a good thing.
What's the most important thing for you to focus on, get accomplished over the next 5 weeks before the start of training?
Yeah, well, I mean, rookies, we're still going to be here, so we're going to still be working. We don't go home until a couple of weeks. So just really getting better in everything. Just coming back and being a better player than I am today is the biggest thing I can do, you know, to help this team moving forward.
What's it been like going up against Keion White?
Oh, it's been great. Not only Keion, Casey, Harold, Milt, Christian, you know, those are all guys that have played a lot of ball in the NFL. So for me to be able to get that exposure, you know, in an OTA, it's pretty good. You know, they've been, you know, great teammates. They've been, you know, showing me some stuff of what they're looking for and things like that. So it's been pretty cool.
In that same vein, it seems like you're spending a lot of time with Morgan Moses. After, what kind of impact has he had on you at this stage?
No doubt. I think whenever you're a rookie, at any position, you look for a guy that you know you can come in and that has done it the right way since he's been in the league, proven himself, and that is a great person that you can, you know, latch on to. and he's just been great to me, not only me, but all the guys in the room, and that goes for guys like Garrett and Big Mike too. We have a lot of guys who have played a lot of football in our room, and they've been very good to the young guys, even the guys that are in their second year, just helping them in any way they can, just giving us any bits and pieces of advice that they can. So it's been really cool.
How's it been working?
Just what do you think has been the biggest area of growth from you since this started, since you got here after the draft, and like how much more comfortable do you feel now than you did 6 weeks ago?
Yeah, I mean, I think whenever you get into a new place, it's a different thing than I'm used to. So really just getting those reps, getting the things under my belt, and just get more experience, day after day. And I can feel myself improving practice after practice. That's the thing. I got to come out and get better every day, and I felt like I've done that.
How's it been working with Doug Marrone? Honestly, it's been tough for you all.
Yeah, it's been great. I know I've said it before, but Coach Marrone, he recruited me at Alabama. But we've not only him, but Coach Hoss and Coach Cooge. We got a great group in the offensive line, and they've helped me and all the young guys, a lot. Learning the new system that we're in, the new techniques, staying with us, whenever we need to. So they've all three been great.
So along those lines, what have been your initial impressions of Josh McDaniels?
Oh yeah, he's intense, but he's an O-line, guy. I was able to meet him on my third visit here. He's obviously, got a great resume, and to be able to play for him is an honor.
Just when you're not in pads, obviously this time of year, just for yourself, what can you accomplish in terms of, working on your technique and things like that, even without the pads?
Everything. You got to come out here and, treat it as if it were a padded practice. This is when the details matter the most, whenever you can key in on those type of things. So I'd say, just coming out here every day and trying to be intentional, and, find 2 or 3 things from the previous practice that I'm trying to grow on in the next.
How much do you feel like you've gotten acclimated to just Foxborough, the NFL, all the above?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely, have said, it's, I've gotten more comfortable, as the days have gone, with the, playbook, the scheme and things like that. And it's only going to keep getting better. Just, like I said, I keep getting these reps and keep getting all this stuff under my belt. It's only going to help me along.
How are you approaching these next 5 weeks?
I'm going to be here for most of them, but it's go away, enjoy some time with some family for a couple of days, and then just work out, get ready for training camp.
It's good to see him very well here. Just been knowing that coach is a guy who's been there, done that.
Yeah, no doubt. I think whenever you have a guy that is that hands-on, it's a blessing. Because he's in there physically. He comes out of practice sweating just as much as we do. So, some coaches, like to, say, this, that, and the other. He's in there doing it with us in every position group every single day. So it's, really cool to have a coach like that, cares about, like, everything as much as he does.
What's the biggest thing or, like, the most important thing you have learned from Moses?
He's just, giving me bits and pieces in really all aspects. There's some stuff, guys do that other people can't. So it's really learning, what, you can do that they might do, or some stuff like that. You can't try everything that somebody tells you because it might not work for you, but it works for them. So, having that fine line, but, he's been great, playbook, scheme things, questions about his past, playing, and, just really getting to know him off the field too has been pretty cool, and along with all the other guys too.
Well, we've seen you matched up against several different guys coming off the edge. Just what's the challenge been like working with different defensive players, different matchups, and the scheme mixing it up?
Yeah, no doubt. I was, just saying that I've been able to, go against, all of our guys, Keion, Casey, Harold, Milt, Christian, all the list, Anthony, all of them. And, it's awesome for, all of us, but, especially a young player to, be able to get that exposure, in a training or an OTA, guys that have played a lot of football on Sundays. And, they've been really good to me, giving me bits and pieces, in the locker room after practice, just on what they're looking for and things like that can put me in a bind. So it's been really cool. They've been great teammates. So it's awesome.
Well, how much have you been working on keeping that inside leverage and drifting off your pass sets and things like that?
Yeah, I mean, that's what we're told to do. That's what my job is to do. it's something that I've worked on every day since I've been here, and I'm gonna keep getting better at it.
If you got any time
Last
to
one.
explore the Boston area, or do you plan to do anything like in the next 5 weeks?
Coach Brady took us to a Red Sox game. All the rookies, and that was pretty cool being able to go there. You always hear about Fenway and stuff like that. So being able to come up here, before I got drafted up here, the furthest east and north I'd ever been was Atlanta. So being able to come up here and see some different part of the country and things like that has been pretty cool.
Appreciate it. Absolutely. Broke a lot of it down. That's kind of another one of my goals coming these next couple of weeks when we get the time off, is just to go through a bunch of seasons, watch a bunch of games, see how they did it, because it's pretty much the same offense, a lot of the same stuff. So just see how they did it and try to develop that into my game.
What would be something you're watching for there?
I just love the way they get open first man, and obviously they feel zones very well. I think that's very special with all of them. Seeing when they sit, when they run, certain things like that. But I mean, in this league, especially coming from the FCS, people are going to say the man coverage is going to be the biggest part of getting open. So just seeing what they did and take that.
What else do you plan to do in the next couple of weeks? Training camp when the competition.
Yeah, I think just sticking to my process, waking up, getting up early, doing the conditioning, doing lifting, making sure I'm staying in that playbook, making sure I'm still coming out here running routes with QBs, making sure I'm still staying on top. Like I said, that playbook's going to be huge. So when I get back and I have that role, just go hit the ground running. Yeah, he's been awesome. Getting to learn a bunch from him. He's got so much knowledge. It's crazy how long he's been in the league. You don't realize it. He's got so much. He just throws gems every meeting. So it's pretty cool, pretty special getting to learn from him.
What would you say the number one thing is how to get
a bunch of different technique stuff. Like obviously we talked a little football off of like scheme and stuff like that. But man, he defeats press very well. He off coverage very well. So just doing that and how to use your hands versus certain different things, I feel like has been the most beneficial.
You're a wide receivers coach, he's been an offensive coordinator. What's the benefit of that?
I love Coach Downing. I think tremendous amount of respect for him. He's super smart, always challenging us to push each other, even if it's the young guys and the old guys. He doesn't care who it is. He's always trying to elevate the room, trying to outwork the expectation of the stand of the room. So it's been awesome to have him, and we're very blessed. Absolutely, I can agree for sure. I think, when you're in the meeting room and he's breaking down it, or he's looking at it like a quarterback, now we know what the quarterback's thinking, instead of going and asking the quarterbacks, like, we're actually getting a little bit of the best of both worlds. So it's been awesome just kind of hear what he has to say throughout different routes, throughout different run schemes, who we're supposed to block because of who's pointing this mic out and stuff like that. So it's been cool.
Given the production that you had in college, were you surprised at all how the draft process went up for you?
I think every kid's dreams to get drafted, but it is what it is. I'm here now. I got the opportunity, and I'm just thankful and blessed for it. And I'm looking forward to the opportunity.
Is that something also from the FCS school that you could use as motivation for yourself?
Absolutely. I think there's a bunch of little things taken from an FCS school. Not getting drafted, I'm always going to bring myself for motivation, but at the end of the day, I'm going to keep coming back to it's just opportunity. So Coach Rabel said that, don't care how you got here, it's opportunity. I'm so excited.
I know that you've been a pretty consistent performer, I guess, throughout the spring. What does that mean? What does it mean to be consistent?
Yeah, I think it's huge, especially for me. Like, if I can line up, run the right routes, get open, catch the ball, I think it's going to instill trust in the quarterbacks, instill trust in the receiver coach, OC, everyone, to where, man, if I'm out there, we're comfortable, and I think it benefits myself too. Is man, all the work I'm putting in, it's starting to, I feel more confident in myself and in the offense and stuff like that. But I gotta keep sticking to it. So.
You and Joe have changed
Yeah, definitely like other sports. I played baseball, basketball, soccer all growing up. My best friend played lacrosse, so we used to go in the yard, play a bunch of catch and stuff, and so I got to do a little bit of that. But I think just doing a whole bunch of other sports growing up has allowed me to be in the position I'm in now, and then just really hone in on the details of my craft has also allowed me to get where I am.
I don't want you to give your tips away, but on your flashcards, what are those like? Is it elementary?
Oh, for sure. And, there's complex ones, there's simple ones. I got a bunch of different stacks. I'm not gonna lie. So I got formations, plays, a bunch of different things. But kind of it's always worked for me, and so that's kind of the routine I stick to.
Is it speed?
No, it's just I like to wake up in the morning and do it, so I can. My mind's always ready to go. I always got it with me. It's in my bag, so I'm always prepared and don't need my phone to look at the plays and stuff like that.
Do you have to know everybody? Everybody's or just yours?
Yeah, no, I try to know everything because the more you know, the more valuable you are. So I'm just trying to be ready to go.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate you guys.